The battlefield was chaos. Gunfire cracked like thunder, smoke rose from shattered walls, soldiers dropped one after another, and in the middle of that storm, a medic, not a sniper, not a warrior, a healer. She sprinted across open ground, her medical bag bouncing against her side, dragging the wounded, saving lives. But then it happened. The team's sniper, their overwatch, their guardian angel, took a direct hit. His rifle hit the ground, a Barrett .50 caliber, a monster of a weapon, and beside it, his lifeless body. The SEALs froze, pinned, helpless. Without him, the mission was doomed. And then, her eyes locked onto that rifle. In one motion, she dropped her medical bag. Her hands reached for the weapon. Something changed in her gaze, something primal, something dangerous. In that moment, the medic became something else. Her name was Sarah Chen, petty officer, Navy combat medic. On paper, her duty was clear. Bandage wounds, stop bleeding, keep warriors alive. To the SEALs, she was support staff, important, but not one of them. They'd seen medics before, some good, some not so good. Most came and went, but Chen felt different. She carried her pack without complaint. She moved with purpose. She was calm when others panicked. Still, to them, she was not a fighter. She was the quiet one in the back, the one who patched holes, not created them. They never noticed the small rifle case she carried, never asked why, never thought twice. The operation was called Silent Thunder, a hostage rescue deep in the Hindu Kush mountains of Afghanistan. The intel said, minimal resistance, quick in, quick out, back before nightfall. But intel is often wrong. SEAL Team 7 advanced like shadows, 12 of the best operators in the SY. World night vision, suppressed rifles, body armor, every detail rehearsed, among them Sarah Chen. Her pack wasn't filled with ammo. It was packed with bandages, IV bags, morphine, surgical tools. Her mission was clear. Keep them alive when everything went wrong. They reached the compound, mud brick walls, guard towers, armed sentries, hostages inside the central building. Commander Rodriguez split the unit. Alpha Team breached the gate. Bravo Team scale the eastern wall. Charlie Team, Chen's team, provide overwatch and medical support. From the ridgeline, Chen set up, her medical gear laid out with precision. Bandages here, morphine syringes lined up like bullets in a magazine. Every movement efficient, every second accounted for. The mission clock 0347 hours, the calm before hell. Then, the assault began. Boom. Alpha Team's charges ripped open the gate. Bravo Team scaled the wall. Shadows poured into the compound. Gunfire erupted. Muzzle flashes lit the night. The SEALs struck hard, fast, precise. For a moment, it worked. The enemy was stunned. Surprise was total, but then the trap was sprung. Hidden bunkers lit up. Machine guns roared from unseen positions. Bullets tore through the courtyard. The Taliban had been waiting. This wasn't just a rescue, it was an ambush. Contact left, contact left. Voices screamed over comms. Chen's heart pounded. Alpha Team was pinned. 2 men already down, bodies motionless in the dirt. Her instincts screamed, run into the fire, save them, but the commander's voice cut through her headset. Negative, Doc, too hot down here, stay on overwatch. She froze, her hands shaking, her eyes wide as more SEALs fell. Her medical training told her to move. Her orders told her to stay. And then she looked left. Gunnery Sergeant Mike Torres, the team sniper, their guardian angel. His rifle whispered death from 50 meters away. Each shot precise, each target dropping before they could threaten the team. He was their lifeline, their only chance. But guardian angels can fall too. The bullet came out of nowhere, straight through Torres's goggles. He never had a chance. His body slumped. His blood spread into the rocky soil, And his rifle, the Barrett 50, lay heavy beside him. The SEALs below screamed for cover. Enemy fighters pressed harder. Without Torres, they were blind. And Sarah Chen? She froze. Her medical kit screamed at her, "Save lives." Her orders screamed, "Call for backup." But something deeper whispered louder. Something buried. Something primal. Her eyes locked on the Barrett. Her hands trembled. Her heartbeat slowed. And in that moment, the medic reached for the sniper's rifle. Because sometimes, the one sworn to heal is the only one who can kill to save them all. Sarah Chen's fingers wrapped around the rifle grip. The Barrett 50 caliber, 50 pounds of steel and death, built to punch through walls, built to stop vehicles, built to kill at distances most people can't even see. Her medical training screamed at her to stop. Her orders demanded she stay with her gear. But her blood, her instincts, her memories, told her otherwise. She crawled into Torres's sniper hide. Her hands moved like they remembered, like this wasn't the first time. Bolt open, chamber check, scope adjustment, bipod set, everything precise. Her breathing slowed, her body stilled, her heartbeat became a metronome. Voices roared in her headset. "Doc, what the hell are you doing? Get back to your station. Chen, leave the rifle." But she didn't answer. Her eyes stayed pressed to the scope. Her world narrowed to one thing, the target. Flashback. Before she was a medic. Before the Navy. Before Afghanistan. She was just Sarah. A girl raised on a ranch in Montana. Endless sky. Rolling hills. And a grandfather who carried scars of his own. Staff Sergeant James Chen. Vietnam sniper. Marine legend. He woke from nightmares. But every morning, he carried his granddaughter to the range. "Violence is a tool, Sarah," he told her. "Like fire. Like electricity. Dangerous in the wrong hands, but capable of protecting everything you love in the right ones." She started with a .22, hitting dimes at 50 yards. By 12, she was firing his old Remington 700. By 16, prairie. Dogs at 600 yards dropped before they even twitched. Shooting wasn't effort for her. It was breathing. It was instinct. It was gift. But it was also weight. Because every pull of a trigger was the decision to end a life. And Sarah didn't want that weight, so at 18, instead of sniper school, she enlisted as a medic. A healer, a fighter of death, not a bringer of it, but her grandfather's voice always lingered. Sometimes, granddaughter, fighting death means bringing it to others first. Now, in Afghanistan, that voice returned. The SEALs were dying. Pinned down, hopeless without Torres, and Sarah Chen, the medic, the healer, took the sniper's position. Staff Sergeant Morrison spotted her through the smoke. "Chen, what the hell are you doing?" But she didn't flinch, didn't look up. Her hands glided over the Barrett, smooth, familiar. Like she'd done it 1,000 times. She chambered the first round. 750 grains of armor-piercing steel. Enough to tear through concrete. Enough to stop a truck engine. Her crosshairs locked onto the target. A Taliban machine gunner in a tower. Raking fire across the courtyard. Walking bullets toward Alpha Team. Range, 470 meters. Wind, 5 miles per hour left. Elevation, 15 degrees down. Her grandfather's whisper returned. "The rifle doesn't care if you're scared. It only cares if you're steady." Her breathing slowed. Half inhale. Exhale. Hold. Her finger pressed the trigger. Crisp, smooth, braking at 4 pounds. The Barrett roared. Thunder erupted. Dust exploded around her. The machine gunner vanished, thrown backwards. His blood painted the wall behind him. The battlefield shifted instantly. Taliban fighters dove for cover, confused, panicked. "Who's shooting?" Voices screamed over the radio. "Torres is down. Who's covering us?" Nobody knew. Not yet. But Sarah did. She worked the bolt, chambered another round, her eyes calm, her body steady. Target 2, a young sniper on the eastern wall, AK in his hands, scope taped together, taking shots at Bravo team. He never saw her. Her crosshairs locked center mass. The rifle cracked again. He dropped instantly. Target 3, an RPG crew behind concrete, one loading, one aiming. If they fired, half the SEALs would die. Her crosshairs shifted. She exhaled, fired. The bullet tore through the barrier. Both men gone in an instant. The RPG exploded in a fireball. Jesus Christ, Morrison whispered. Where did she learn to shoot like that? Through the headset, her voice came calm, flat, unshaken. Montana. The battlefield trembled, because in less than 3 minutes, the medic had become death itself. Sometimes the quietest hands hold the loudest fury. The compound burned with chaos. The SEALs were pinned, gasping for breath, their mission seconds from collapse. And then, shot after shot after shot, each one surgical, each one devastating, each one hers. Sarah Chen, the medic, the healer, the one they never noticed, now dismantling an entire enemy force. Her rifle cracked again. Target 4, a Taliban sniper crawling across a rooftop. Distance, 400 meters. One clean headshot. Gone. Target 5, a fighter with body armor. 2 shots to the chest. The Barrett tore through like paper. Target 6, a shadow in a window. A rifle peeking out. 1 round. Silence. 8 minutes earlier, the SEALs thought they were dead. Now the enemy was breaking, panic spreading like wildfire. In the courtyard, Alpha Team lifted their heads. Who the hell is shooting for us? Bravo Team whispered in disbelief. It's not Torres. He's gone. Then who? And then they saw her. The medic, lying prone behind the Barrett, calm, steady, eyes like glass, each shot deliberate, each movement professional, not wild rage, not chaos, cold, precise. They didn't see fury in her face. They saw calculation, mathematics, discipline, and that terrified them even more. Rodriguez, the team leader, finally spoke. Unknown sniper like cleared hot, engage all targets. But it wasn't an unknown sniper anymore. It was Sarah Chen, their medic. She fired again, and again, and again. Every trigger pull another enemy gone. Every bullet shifting the battlefield. The Taliban broke formation. Leaders gone. Machine guns silenced. Snipers eliminated. What had been a perfect ambush crumbled into chaos. Bravo team stormed the eastern wall. Alpha pushed through the courtyard. The hostages were freed. The tide had turned, and above them all, Sarah didn't flinch. Her rifle moved like it was part of her body, her breathing in rhythm, her eyes never leaving the scope. 4 minutes, 8 shots, 8 dead enemies, not one miss. And then, silence. Her hands clicked the safety. She set the rifle aside, picked up her medical bag, and moved toward the wounded as if nothing had happened. The SEALs froze. They couldn't speak. They couldn't believe. The medic had just saved the mission, saved their lives, and she didn't even look shaken. Not a scream, not a cheer, not even a smile. She just returned to work, bandaging, suturing, saving lives. Like the past 4 minutes of fury hadn't even happened. Later, the SEALs would give it a name. They called it the Fury. Not blind rage, not madness, something worse, cold, unstoppable, methodical, violence so precise, it didn't feel human. And that's what haunted them most. The healer they trusted, the medic they dismissed, had become death itself, without a single change of expression. Hours later, when the shooting stopped, Commander Rodriguez found her. She was still working, still patching wounds, still saving lives. He whispered, "Petty Officer Chen, we need to talk." She tied off a stitch. Didn't even look up. "Yes, sir? Where did you learn to shoot like that?" Sarah paused, her hands steady on her patient's wound, her voice quiet. "My grandfather taught me. Staff Sergeant James Chen, Vietnam, Marine sniper. Rodriguez froze. It all made sense. The skill, the precision, the coldness in her eyes. But her record showed nothing. No sniper training, no advanced qualifications. How? He pressed. That was expert-level shooting. You don't learn that from a ranch. Sarah finally looked up, her eyes calm, her face unreadable. Sir, I trained for it. I tested for the Marine sniper program. I passed everything. I was accepted. Rodriguez's eyes widened. Then, why? She finished bandaging, her voice flat. Because I didn't want to take lives. I wanted to save them. So I walked away. The SEAL standing nearby froze, her secret revealed. The medic was once a sniper, a warrior who had chosen not to fight, until tonight. Because sometimes, the ones who refuse the weapon are the deadliest when they finally pick it up. The hostages were safe, the compound secured. The guns had gone silent, but the silence was heavy. Because every SEAL kept staring at her. Sarah Chen, their medic, their healer, their savior. She packed her gear calmly, morphine back in its pouch. IV lines rolled tight. Bloodied gloves tossed aside, her hands didn't shake, her eyes didn't flicker. To her, it was just another night's work, but to them, it was unforgettable, the SEALs whispered among themselves. She saved us. She carried the team. She's not a medic, she's something else. And finally, Rodriguez said it aloud. We'll never forget her fury. Back at base, the debrief felt strange. The mission was marked a success. Hostages rescued, enemy destroyed, minimal friendly casualties. On paper, everything clean. Everything perfect. But the whispers spread faster than the reports, not about the mission, not about the compound, about her. The medic turned sniper. Chen picked up the Barrett. She killed 8 men in 4 minutes. Some told it with awe, others with fear. But none of them could deny it. Rodriguez called her into his office. She stood at attention, uniform stiff, face unreadable. You broke protocol, he said flatly. You abandoned your medical post. Yes, sir. You picked up a weapon you weren't authorized to use. Yes, sir. You killed 8 men. Her voice was calm. I saved 12. Rodriguez leaned back, stared at her. A war raged behind his eyes. Finally, he whispered, Do you regret it? Her answer was simple. No. The weeks that followed were different. Her role didn't change. Her record didn't change. She was still listed as medic. But the SEALs moved differently around her. They gave her space. They gave her respect. And when missions went bad, their eyes always found her because they knew. Behind those calm hands, behind those healers' eyes, lurked a storm. At night, Sarah would sit alone, cleaning her medical kit, then quietly cleaning Torres's rifle. Not because she wanted it, not because she claimed it, but because one day, it might be needed again. Her teammates saw it. The way her hands fit the weapon, the way she carried it, not like a trophy, but like a burden, and they realized the truth. She wasn't proud of what she'd done, she wasn't chasing glory, she wasn't eager to do it again, she was carrying it, like a weight, like a scar, like a secret that could never be erased. In war, some wounds don't bleed, some wounds don't show, and Sarah's wound was knowing she had chosen to kill. But the SEALs, they would never forget it. Not the precision, not the calm, not the way she shifted from medic to reaper in the blink of an eye. On her next mission, she carried her bag as usual, bandages, IV fluids, morphine, but strapped across her back, next to the medic's gear. A rifle, polished, zeroed, ready. No. One commented, no one dared, because every man there knew, if the sniper fell again, the fury would rise again. Sarah Chen never asked for recognition. Never called herself a sniper, never wanted to. But the SEALs whispered her story for years. Not in the open, not in the record books. In the shadows, around campfires. in the silence between missions. She was the medic. But for 4 minutes, she was death itself. Because sometimes the line between saving lives and taking them is just one heartbeat and one trigger pull.